Hello and welcome to the live stream, the International Juggler live stream for January. This is a stream where I share the clips that I've been also sharing on YouTube and Instagram, whereas I share them here on YouTube. Joining me is Juliana. Say hi, Juliana.
Hello, everyone.
And we're going to be reviewing some clips there. If you see us looking over in this direction, it's because that's where the live chat is and notifications pop up over there on the iPad. But otherwise, we need to be looking in this direction. So the way this works is International Juggler. The project is that everywhere that I perform in the world, or everywhere that I travel in the world, I always want to get a video of me juggling in that spot, and then I used to just collect them together to share them like at the end of the year. Like I had an International Juggler 2009, all the clips in 2009. International Juggler 2010, where I had like all the clips from 2010, 11, 12, and then I got up to like 2012 after 3 or 4 years, and then it just felt like the same thing over and over again. Yes. But I still kept on getting videos. The last video that I made, I think, was the International Juggler 2015, and since then, or for a few years since then, I've just been sharing bits and pieces on Instagram. But I always have, like, as I said at the start of this project, I said I got like 2,600 clips, video clips in a folder, the International Juggler folder. And
that's a lot.
Never sharing them. Just some of them managed to get onto Instagram. Some of them managed to get into these highlights clips, but most of them didn't manage to get anywhere.
Is there a reason why some clips don't fit in these videos, in the bigger ones?
Often, if I'm sharing one of them, like if I'm just countries, I want one clip from that country. And how many, like, so in the UK, we're going to share like 7 or 8 bridges or something from the UK here. Like, would it be a bridge that gets into that video, or would it be like something better, like something more interesting? Like often, like I visit one place, I film 5 or 6 clips in that city on interesting places, maybe in front of a fountain, in front of a church, in front of a cliff with a wide view, in front of a bridge, and then I'll share one of those will get into the edit, or one of those will get into Instagram. So this is a way for me to share lots of other things. So last time I did boats and other forms of transport, boats and planes and rockets and helicopters and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then I said, what I'm going to do, I've got lots of bridges and waterfalls, so I was going to do for this last month bridges versus waterfalls, and then I was like, actually too many of those, I'm just going to do bridges. So here we go, bridges. Should we start?
Bridges, and so somebody on the chat's already asking, how many bridges have you got?
I know, like 40 bridges or something like that in the past month and a bit. So let's get over to it. The first one here we go. It's London Bridge, isn't it? No, it isn't. It's Tower Bridge, but this is what everybody was thinking. So this was the apocryphal story of the person who, again, accidentally bought London Bridge, and he thought he was buying this bridge, one. And actually it wasn't. They took apart the London Bridge, which is just like a boring bridge.
I just said yes because for me that always has been the Tower Bridge until somebody else said, "Oh, this is London Bridge." And I thought, okay, well, and then the confusion started.
Yes. No, this is actually
like one of those things.
Yeah, this is Tower Bridge. I actually have like another clip from this. I had another clip of us another time that we happened to be in London, and I got another video of me standing on the stage wall, but I didn't bother sharing it. That might be a future series. Clips that places that Luke has been to multiple times and got multiple juggling videos in that spot.
Different years.
Yeah, and in different years.
So you can see yourself aging.
All right, so that was in 2014 in a trip that we did in 2014. All right, let's go to the next one. What do I actually need to be doing? I think it's this button. Here we go. All right, so here we are at a pretty cool bridge. Pretty epic bridge. This is the Pont du Gard. Pont du Gard. How would you pronounce that?
Pont du Gard.
Pont du Gard. I'm gonna quickly adjust this. There's a little bit of border at the top there. I know what I'm wanting to do. This one here, and just get a little. I know that's me being a perfectionist, but I want to get rid of that little white border around the edge.
Okay.
There you go. All right, so Pont du Gard. Yeah, we actually went here. This was in 2013 after the EJC in France.
Yes.
Yeah, so
from Toulouse, we drove back.
Yeah.
Back to Germany, but not direct routes, but like
a pretty direct route. No, actually, yeah, pretty direct route.
We first went down, and then we went up again.
And we were camping and things like that. A whole day was wasted because people's campsite was broken into, and they sliced open a tent and reached through and grabbed some stuff. So that was an interesting trip there. Yeah, but the Pont du Gard is actually really impressive. It's one of those things. It's like such the classic postcard shot, and that's what we were going for.
And in early years, like in years before, it was actually possible for people to jump down from the different
levels. Not allowed to do that anymore.
Of course.
But we actually went along the top. It was an aqueduct, I guess is the right word.
Yeah.
And so water used to flow along the top. And we went on a tour where we could actually go along in the top, which is really good.
And it's actually, the top isn't open, the top is closed, so the water stays cool.
So you have to duck into it.
Tunnel.
It's a water pipe. It's like going through a water pipe.
Pretty fun thing.
All right, next bridge. Here we go. This is the first bridge, which is, what's this? This is the Ponte Vecchio. In Firenze, or Florence, in Italy. This is from 2012. I went over after a cruise ship gig. I went over and stayed with you and your family for a week.
Yes.
Which was, I was going to say it was nearby there. It wasn't really near there.
Not
It was
really.
in Tuscany. So, and this is the first bridge. As you can see here, there's this lower level. As you can see here, people watching can see the things. There's a lower level where you can walk through, and all the buildings there, and then there's this upper level. And we actually just recently watched a YouTube video about that upper level. That was so, what was it? The Grand Visor or the Duke or whoever it is there could go from his palace over
into the Uffizie.
Into Uffizie? What's that?
Yeah.
Into the
like
government building.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he built this high level walkway all the way through the city, and that's what that thing is along the top there. The top section there is actually a walkway. So a really good bridge. And I'm actually standing on the St. Trinity Bridge, which is just another bridge.
So you're standing on a bridge.
It
counts twice.
It's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1 bridge. Yeah, and this one is me. This was when you were filming. This is you filming, I guess, as well. So a pretty good bridge. Again, not the only bridge where there's 2 levels or buildings built on the bridge. Next up, here we have the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. And
this is really weird because these cables, they go in behind you. It makes it look like.
Well, here's the thing. It's a suspension bridge, but also a cable stay bridge. So cable stays, the cables come out down at angles. There's straight cables coming out at angles. The suspension bridge is you've got a swoopiness like this with the cables coming straight down.
Right.
And this one is a combination of both. And that's why it looks like cage, because there's cables coming straight down and there's also cables coming at angles, so it looks like you're in a cage. Really great bridge. Again, they can watch some really good videos, YouTube videos about the Brooklyn Bridge, because it was started off by one guy and then his wife just took over, and it's sort of like,
didn't he?
No, I think he was disabled or something like that. I think he got the bends from being diving underwater or something like that. Next up, here's a really great bridge. Actually, there's
Porto.
2 bridges. This is Porto in Portugal, and this was, I think, the bridge that inspired me to do a bridges series, because the other one we did was a cable car. There's a cable car that goes up the side, and this when I was
bridge.
this 2-level bridge. So this is an arch bridge plus like a kind of a suspension bridge, because that lower level is like suspended from the top. It's a really weird bridge.
The top is trains, isn't it? The top is trains and pedestrians. And the lower one is
it's trams. It's actually a tram line. So it used to be vehicles, but now there's a level. I think the top level is trams. The bottom level is pedestrians and vehicles, and also you can walk where the trams go as well. Fantastic. This is a fantastic riverfront area in Porto. We really enjoyed it there. Some other people are coming in here. Hi, Lau as well in the chat.
Hello, 10 people.
10 people watching, which is about right for an international drug line. Oh, this is one of my favourite bridges. This is the Queen Emma Bridge in Willemstad in Curacao, and it's a weird one because it's a bridge, but it's actually a series of boats. Can we get a fair photo? Oh yeah, this is someone from the cruise ship recognised. Yeah, you think? Yes, that's when I get work on cruise ships. I'm out in the town. As you can see, all the old white people here, probably all cruise ship people. This is a floating pontoon bridge. So it's connected this end and connected that end, but this end is connected and this end comes apart, and then the whole thing swings around. It's like a little motorized thing. There used to be a ferry going apart on the end, but actually now the last one has got a motor on it that goes and it goes out, and it's all floaty like this.
This is where the bridge is bobbing up and down.
We can actually see it again here. You see how it's you can see it bobbing up and down. And what I was actually doing here, I was trying to get a video of the houses behind, because it's this really nice Dutch.
It's a juggler.
Really cute. But so I actually have different videos from this point. Some trying to focus on the bridge, like this one is, but also others trying to focus on buildings. All right, this is an interesting bridge. This is in the Bundestag offices in Berlin, next to the Reichstag building. And normally you're not allowed in here. Of course you're not allowed in here, but Juliana's father happens to work in the Bundestag, so this is where he comes to work. Not this building,
One of the building.
but all the buildings are connected underground.
Yeah.
So we were there once. When was this? This was back in 2012,
Yeah.
and we were here, and I got some bounce juggling underneath the passages that go between the buildings underneath where the tourists
Here's
can't
some
go.
bridges.
Yeah, and there were some bridges inside, so you go, all right, tallest bridge in the world. Not the highest bridge. There's other bridges which are higher, but this is architecturally the highest bridge. So from the lower point on that pillar to the very top point on that pillar is like 350 meters high, which is higher than the Eiffel Tower. And because it's France, this is the Millau Viaduct in France, you'd think it is. And it's super long, really impressive. Like just to see there, you know, I got these two different images here. It's just super impressive. And we went there in 2009. That was on the way to or from the EJC. Yeah, I think it was on the way home from the EJC when it was in Spain, in Vitoria in Spain. Anyway, very impressive bridge. Tallest building, not the highest bridge in the world, but the tallest bridge in the world.
Also, it looks really pretty with all these.
It's very good. The cable stay stuff at the top. Right, this is a suspension bridge. This is in, let me think about it. This is the Windsor Suspension Bridge in Gibraltar. And I've been to Gibraltar many, many times. There's a cruise ship port down there. Yeah. And just going exploring. And when I was up there, I was like, oh, a new bridge. And I don't remember when the bridge opened, but it was suddenly there. And I was like, that is a very impressive bridge. Yeah. It's a pity that it's like so big that I just had to put my GoPro there and walk around and film. Oh no, I think what I did is there's you have an app on your phone and it was within Bluetooth range once I walked around there, so I could get around there and then set off the
camera,
start the GoPro going.
You know what? This would be like the perfect bridge for a drone shot, because then you could see it from the other side with maybe a nicer view.
No, here's the thing. The other side is really boring because on this side is just a path. Like I'm taking it's just like it's like on the side of Gibraltar Rock, and then there's a cove that goes in.
I see.
And this bridge is just like a little tourist trap. It's because it doesn't connect any two things which aren't also connected by a path. Like you can see over here, this bit over here.
So it goes in a big loop around.
Well, not even a big loop. That's the thing. But it's a fun bridge, and again.
Good fun.
Yeah, it is good fun. Next up is the Rialto Bridge. This is another bridge with buildings on a bridge. It's in Venice. I actually have quite a few other video clips of me juggling in Venice. Did you film this one, or is this somebody else? No, this would have been someone else.
This is in 2010, so I couldn't have been filming it.
But this is a really good one, and I always try to get like this. So this is actually, I was trying to get it as Venice shot as possible with the gondola and the gondola going past in the background of the river ferry and the Rialto Bridge there. So it was
perfect shot.
A really good shot.
Yes.
Next up, classic suspension bridge here. This is the Golden Gate Bridge, and people think it's called the Golden Gate Bridge because the bridge is kind of reddish colour, so it's sort of like it's golden, but actually it isn't. That was always called the Golden Gate. Like the Golden Gate was where you go through. The passageway, the inlet is called the Golden Gate, which came through into the San Francisco Harbour or into the bay, whatever it's called.
Yeah, well, it's like when the gold rush was, and then this is the gate where you go into to get to San Francisco.
Yeah. San Francisco. That is San Francisco in the background.
Yeah.
You know, this is where this is where, like, you know, when we were watching the Planet of the Apes, and you know, and all the stuff goes down. No, Godzilla comes under here.
I do understand what the Golden Gate.
I'm just saying it's proximate to San Francisco, but there's actually another bridge in the background which will come up later, the Bay Bridge. We'll talk about that a bit later in terms of another bridge.
This is a perfect view from there.
Yeah. Quick questions. Have you ever lost any juggling equipment on bridges? No, not on bridges. I have actually I'm going to do next series will be something else, but I'm going to do a series of me in the sea or in lakes, you know, like juggling in lakes, and I'll show you some, when we get there, we'll see some other juggling equipment lost. In the previous one as well, one of the previous live streams, we did it when we were going. I fell off a glacier and lost a juggling club, so I might actually clip that out because that's quite a fun little clip. I should just clip exactly that little bit.
That's true. But then years later, no, actually this year, you look back at it and
literally 11 years later, I found a juggling club which I was lost at the time. So I've lost juggling equipment, but not on bridges. Brendan Rouse asks, impressive. Do you plan to travel keep traveling? Do you plan to do as much traveling after COVID? Guess it'll take a while for cruises to recover. Can you do projects locally where you are? Well, yeah. The thing is, after COVID comes down, like we're definitely going to be traveling this coming year because we want to go over and see, you know, family in the UK. So we will do some traveling, but I don't know how long it's going to take for cruises to come back, or if that's going to be if that's going to be a big part of my life going forward. I hope so, because I love it. I love traveling. This actually wasn't, this here in San Francisco, that wasn't part of a cruise ship adventure. I was invited over to the Portland Juggling Convention, Portland coming up later, to the Portland Juggling Convention, and I stayed a bit in San Francisco, went to Yosemite Valley, and also this was part of a bike ride that I did across the bridge. It was a fantastic bike ride there. And someone says, Flying Mo La Mola, so that's my town. Well, here we go. Next up is Dublin. This is the Bridge of Sighs? No, it can't be the Bridge of... No, this is the Halfpenny Bridge. The Halfpenny Bridge in Dublin. Why did I think this was the Bridge of Sighs? But the thing is, I was doing some research. There's like 8 different famous Bridge of Sighs around the world. It's quite interesting.
This is if you have a bridge, why not giving it a poetical name?
Yes, a poetic name. This is a bridge which was once the only pedestrian bridge across the river, and it cost halfpence to go across the bridge. That's why it's called the Halfpenny Bridge. It was
narrow.
A lot of these bridges around the world are actually made in like Bristol, where bridges come from, and they would do all of the manufacturing, all of the assembly, and then they would like take it apart, ship it over, and then put it back together in place. And so all of quite a lot of these bridges from the 18th 19th century are actually constructed first or built prefabricated in the UK. Okay. Including this one. This is actually the Victoria Falls Bridge, which was another bridge which was all pre-made in the UK somewhere, and then they shipped it out. And to get the bridge there, they actually had to build the railway to that point. So it's actually a railway bridge, because we were there.
Yes.
We didn't do the bungee jump. There's actually a way of bungee jumping off the top. These little things where you can do bungee jumping. There's a big swing that you can swing off. There's a zip line that goes across all of these different adventure kind of things. We didn't do any of that. Not that I wouldn't want to do a bungee jump, but it actually took like almost a full day, because you had to go there, training, all that kind of stuff, and we wanted to do some other things. So yeah, the Victoria Falls is behind here. All this smoke. Well, it's not smoke, is it? It's just water vapor.
Dust.
Dust? No, not dust either. Not smoke, not dust. It's all water. But a train goes across there, but it's such an old bridge that they actually have to make sure the train doesn't go above like 5 kilometers per hour, so it doesn't vibrate the bridge very much. And that's a bridge that connects Zimbabwe and Zambia. There's actually a border crossing. There's border checks on both ends of the bridge, and then the bridge itself is kind of like in this no man's land between.
And this video, this direction where you're filming, is from the Victoria Falls Hotel. Isn't
Yes.
It? That's like out of the back of it.
Yeah, it's.
And then in the same area on the grass there were some warthogs.
Yeah, some warthogs. Yeah, some little warthogs that were hanging out there. You can see the sun is in my eyes, but I had this exact one shot, even though like I have to go and stand in the sun. And next up, this is actually, I made a note of this one because I was impressed by the design of this. This is called the Asut de. Can you read that? Asut de l'Or Bridge. And this is in Valencia in Spain, and this entire area, like this is a football stadium over here, this is a big concert hall, there's really interesting bits of architecture around there, and this is the bridge, and they wanted like a centerpiece bridge there, and it's called the backward curved pylon backstayed cantilever bridge. So the forces that hold this up go up these cables into there, and then all of that is being held back by the cables, the cables that are going down here. So this is the cantilever, this is the backward curved pylon, and it's a backstayed, backwards curved cantilever cable stayed bridge.
So my Spanish isn't great, so it's like Asut de l'Or.
Okay. You got to stop leaning forward quite so much now.
Sorry.
I know I said that. Yeah, you need to try and read that, but now you've done that, you need to lean back a bit. Yeah. So there's actually some other really cool of these cantilevered, like where the weight of the spar is the thing. I shouldn't hit my microphone. The weight of the spar coming back is the thing that kind of pulls it up. There's a really great one. I hit my microphone again. There's a really cool one of those in Argentina as well. And I was looking through. I was like, surely I got a video on this bridge, but it doesn't quite line up. And the one time that I thought, I've definitely got a video of that bridge, it was actually night when I was there, and it turns out I don't have a video. I've got some other videos from that time that I was there. All right, lean back a little bit again. Okay, you need to be about the same size as me.
It's so difficult because I have to do something with my arms.
Here we go. This is a 5 bridge shot. Okay, so
5 bridges.
5 bridges.
Okay,
The bridge
so
that
I can
I'm on.
see one. Oh yeah, there's another one in the foreground.
No.
1, 2, 3. I see 3.
There's 5 bridges in the shot. The where I'm on now is the Gateshead Millennium Bridge, and you can see that I filmed this in 2011 because in 2011, all of the clips I have a ball balanced on the top of my head, or most of the clips I would try and get a ball on the back of my on the top of my head. This is a pedestrian bridge, and when I lived in Newcastle, way before I filmed this, and I would bike to work or walk to work, I would have to go across this bridge, but I very rarely did that. Normally, I would either take the metro to work, and the metro bridge is this one here. Okay. Oh no, it's one of these ones here in the background. There's actually another 4 bridges lined up there in the background.
Oh, I see. Oh, they're like.
So there's 2 of these low-level bridges. The one here in the foreground, which is the Millennium Bridge, which is actually a suspension bridge, but it's an offset suspension bridge. So
I see
it goes.
The arc is this way.
The arc goes this way, and then the walkway goes around this way, and then when the bridges, when the boats come through, what the whole thing does is like tip upwards, and it's like an eye that's opening upwards, and then the curve keeps going over the top, and the curve of the road which goes around here keeps going up, and then they kind of tip up, and the boats can go underneath it. Clever. This one is the swing bridge, this one low down here, and that just like turns 90 degrees. The boats can go either side of it, and then all of the other bridges are high level bridges because Newcastle, it's got some interesting geology. What happened was that the river was flowing into the sea, and then there were some ice caps there. And then when the ice caps all melted, the land actually rebounded and started raising up. But then the river kept on cutting a channel through. Yeah. So either side of the river is actually quite high level. Like, you're like another 40-50 meters higher up on these edge parts here, and the river cut a channel through to the sea down there as well. So that's why you have the high level bridges. So you've got I'm on the Millennium Bridge. Behind there's the swing bridge. There's the Tyne Bridge, which is the famous suspension bridge, which looks very much like the bridge, like the Sydney Harbour Bridge, designed by the same guy, made by the same company. And then behind there you've got the high level bridge, the Queen Elizabeth II Metro Bridge. And then there's another railway bridge as well back there. So yeah, lots of bridges across there.
So if you want to learn a lot about different bridge designs, just watch this video over and over
I'm
again.
Just saying,
study all the different bridge.
I'm a bridge fan. All right, next up we have, this is called the what's this called, the Rakottsbrücke. Or is it the Rakottsbrücke or the Rakottsbrücke? I think.
Rakotts.
Okay, let me change this here in my notes here. This is the Rakottsbrücke, and this is a very famous bridge because it's a famous reflecting bridge here in Germany, or in the south of East Germany, put it that way. It's over near the border of Poland in that direction. Yeah. And it's a very famous bridge which is like got this pool. It's over a lake, and they made this bridge, and when you see photos of it, you're like, oh my god, this is the best bridge. Maybe I can actually quickly bring up a
they recently done some, as you can see, there's some scaffolding and stuff, so they in the last few years they've done some renovation of it.
Yeah.
And apparently they finished it like last year or something.
Yeah.
But yes, you often see on Instagram like these most impressive bridges or places where you have to visit and stuff. And so I saw this as well, and I thought, let's go. This is close by.
It's a beautiful, beautiful,
and also
beautiful bridge.
It has lots of rhododendron around. Yeah. It's a rhododendron garden around it, and
we were
I'm
there.
really into rhododendron.
And we got there, and it's like almost the most disappointing bridge, because you saw those things that we were just looking at there, like those pictures that I just brought up, and
perfect circle.
And we were there. The river, the lake had been mostly drained. It was this muddy nothingness, and then the bridge isn't really impressive. It's actually more of a bridge-shaped arch sculpture rather than anything you can walk across. You can't even walk across it.
It's not really a bridge.
No,
it's just
a sculpture. So I wouldn't say totally uninspiring and much of a letdown, but more of a letdown than I was expecting. All right, next up, this is a bridge in Recife in Recife, Brazil. It's the Ponte de los Suspiros. I don't know what that means, but that's what it's called. Now, the way I was selecting these bridges, because there are a few other bridges which I haven't shared here, like I have videos of me standing on, but they're just sort of like, a little pedestrian bridge here, or a little bridge on this thing. But what I wanted to do is make sure that when I'm actually looking at these bridges, I wanted to make sure that they're like famous enough or notable enough to bother including. And this is a pretty bridge. Well, it's not that pretty, but it's like colourful. What's that?
No,
Dispirited.
No.
Oh, what are you trying to do?
I wanted to look up what suspiri means.
Yes, I can see that you're trying to do that. Okay, don't swear, please, because I don't need to bleep this out, and I have to mark that it's there's no bad language in this.
I'm so sorry.
No problem at all. So what I always wanted to do is if I actually type into Google, I'll type in the look at that Java command tool.
I think it also means
what?
Sighing.
Size. Oh yeah, maybe this is the bridge. This is the bridge.
This is what I wanted to look up, but I can't. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I can look it up here. Here we go. What is it? Translate Suspirus. Is that it? Suspirus. Ice cream. Oh no, I need to go over here. Size. Oh yeah, this was the Bridge of Sighs. Okay, so this is the Brazilian Recife Bridge.
I'm sorry for my language, but this is what I just wanted to look up because in Italian it means sospiri.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I know this word.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I'm actually saying the correct thing, but yes, it also
means this is one of the Bridge of Sighs. So again, that's why I had it in my head, because I actually had looked it up before. No. The next bridge is the Bridge of Sighs. This is the Ponte da Boa Vista in Recife, Brazil, for some reason. And Boa Vista means what? Beautiful view, I'm guessing? Maybe, I don't know.
View, all these kind of
maybe the same kind of thing. In 2014. So what I would do is I'd search for the city name or the town name and then type bridge. And if the bridge came up as like the first result or the second result, I would be like, that's a notable enough bridge. There's some others which didn't quite make it. All right, let's go to the Bridge of Sighs. This is the Bridge of Sighs. This in Lima in Peru. It's like a little pedestrian bridge across a little gully by the cliffs. And almost lost the ball there. Didn't quite. Thankfully, there's actually a walkway to get it off. But yes, this was one of the times that I almost lost a bridge. Almost lost a ball on the bridge, because for some reason I was like, I'm going to do 7 balls. I think it was because I was with some other jugglers, because I met up with other jugglers there on that evening, and I wanted to show off that I could do 7 balls. Maybe. I don't know. Just beating them all at combat. Oh, here's another cool bridge with a building on the bridge. This is actually called Bridge House, or the Bridge House in Ambleside in England. We got this one in 2017, and it was really difficult to find a shot, because from the street you can't really see that the little building is on a bridge. No. It's just a little building. And then when you actually look from the river, so I climbed down into the river. Juliana went round. We found a spot where you can actually see it. Yes. So it's a cool little postcard moment.
And it's typical English weather.
Yes, typical November. In November, where we went there after going to the Durham juggling convention, I think, wasn't it? All right, next up we have another one from that. This was actually like the same day or the day after we got the Pont du Gard one. This is called the Pont Saint Benezet, otherwise known as Pont d'Avignon in France in 2013, also on the way back. And I got some really nice sunsetty kind of, that golden hour look there. Well, kind of golden hour. Yeah. But yeah, like a beautiful town.
Do you know about this bridge? There's a famous song about this bridge.
Yeah, I do know there's a famous song about this bridge.
Do you also know, maybe in this song they're singing about dancing on the bridge.
Yeah.
But if originally it was singing, the song was about singing under the bridge, because these arches continued on also not only over the river but also on land.
Yeah.
And so there were in Berlin you have these taverns.
The archways,
So the song originally is singing under the bridge in Avignon.
Right.
And now we only have parts of it left.
Turns out you've got to pay like €26 to go on the bridge. And then I was like, well, you get a better view from the cycle path. There's just cycle path beside it. All right, next up is the Bastei Brücke, which is a bridge it's a massive stone bridge. It's this part in the background here, as you can see it back there. And it's this massive stone infrastructure bridge, which is actually just a pedestrian bridge across to a viewing point over the around some rocks.
Yeah.
And they put a little rope bridge across, and then a wooden bridge across, and then a stone bridge across, and then built it up to be like almost castle battlements. But it's not castle battlements. It was just sort of like, we've got some rock formation.
Outlook.
This is now tourist infrastructure. So this is a bridge in Kansas City on the Kansas side of Kansas. Not the Missouri
side of
Kansas. Kansas City is in Missouri, and Kansas City is also, the other half of Kansas City is in Kansas, the state. And this is on the Kansas side of the border, and it's this bridge called let me have a quick look here. It's this is another one, because this doesn't actually have a name. It's just called the 12th Street Bridge. and it's this bridge which was built like in 1901 or whatever, and it's got this high level and low level, and it's actually now not, you can't use it for it's not strong enough to be used for anything. So it's now a pedestrian and cycle path on the bottom, but also they do events here. I looked up on the website what they can do. You can actually hire the underside of this bridge for wedding ceremonies and wedding parties, which is sort of like in the summer, this is a place that you can you can come and do it. So yeah, that was when I was invited over to the Kansas City Juggling Convention in, I guess, 2012.
Yes.
Next up, this is actually more of a shot of the Palace of Westminster in the background, but it is also Westminster Bridge. Also not London Bridge. There's lots of bridges in London, which I could have done, but these were the two that I chose to share videos of.
And this is not in the city of London.
This is in the city of Westminster, which is part of London. The city of London is down at the other end where Tower Bridge is. No, not where Tower Bridge is. Where the Tower of London is. All right, next up, this was the video that I shared at Christmas, and it's a nice Christmassy, or at least wintry scene. And we actually we used to live about 100 meters away from that up until this year, and it was really great to be in having a park. Oh, that might have been a bit loud for people watching. I saw that audio spike down there. So yeah, I accidentally did a perfect shot at Juliana after doing this. I wanted to get a video with the trains crossing in the background, but of course left it a quarter of a second too late. And then of course never have the patience to wait until the next train, because that would be like in another 6 minutes, and who would do this?
Well,
but
you can see some other trains in the background there on the left.
So this is this whole area of Berlin, Gleisdreieck, used to be like where like lots of the U-Bahns come together and cross over. The U1 and the U2, which are like the first two U-Bahns in Berlin, come together, and that's where they cross. That's what you see here, the Gleisdreieck station. And then it was all the rest of it was also railway yards. So these railway bridges ran over the railway yards, and there's loads of railway infrastructure. And then it was all of those old railway yards were made into a park, and we lived there. But the bridges that go over the top of the park has become like, one of those iconic places in Berlin.
Exactly. The other way, if you look in the other way, you see the Potsdamer Platz, which is also quite a famous view.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's become
quite a good.
No culture in that part of Berlin, but a nice park, and so we did that. All right, here we go. This is the Ribblehead. What was it? Yeah, the Ribblehead Viaduct in North Yorkshire. Now, when you see all the what was the train that that goes to Hogwarts or something? This is the shot. The train going across the top of there. It's a very famous viaduct in the UK.
Yes.
Like one of the more impressive ones, and we visited there in 2016. Next up, this is actually another swing bridge, but it's a two-part swing bridge. So it's actually two parts here, and then it's not a suspension. Well, it kind of is a suspension bridge, but it kind of splits in two and goes around like this way, and then the bridge actually comes like this. If you know what I mean. So there's actually a join. There's a join in the middle. This is called the Kaiserville Brücke in Wilhelmshaven.
Oh, so it's like this, and then it opens like this?
No, it doesn't. It's actually got two rotating things. So each half of this bridge rotates around its central column.
Down?
Do I have to do a?
This I have. Like if I see a bridge like that, it looks like a one thing that doesn't.
I'm going to look for the Kaiser Wilhelm Brücke. Here, look. You can see this. Can see this photo here. You see, it actually splits in two. Right. I'm gonna bring this up here so people on the live stream can see. So yeah, it's you see see this one here. Yeah. It actually rotates around its central column, and both parts of it rotate around their central column.
Yeah. No,
so it's a cool bridge. It's a cool bridge in a city in Germany which is a complete and utter dump. But I was paid to be there once to do some shows.
Street shows.
Yeah, and I never really did that many street shows because they just paid us, loads of street show artists, they just paid to come there to add culture to what's really like a Kieler Woche, like a beer festival with some other stuff going on. And they didn't actually give us any pictures. So we were all like, oh, I'll do the thing here. But then just some guy on other busker who wasn't being paid to be there. So loads of us street show entertainers turned up. We were all given like €400 to be there and put in a hotel for 3 days or 3 nights. And between all of us, we managed to do like 6 shows or something. Loads of people just left early. The next bridge is, let me bring it up here. The next bridge is another bridge with a building on top of the bridge. Let's let me bring up my notes here because then I can actually read where we are now. This is Chateau de Chenonceau. You say it.
Not bad. Chateau
de Chenonceau. And there was a video of me juggling in a canoe because we actually hired a canoe one of the days that we were here.
River.
Yeah, we went up the river and then down the river underneath this. Apparently you weren't allowed to canoe up underneath it. You're only allowed to canoe down underneath it, but we didn't see the signs and nobody told us. So we should have done the one that you didn't have to paddle up and back down. We should have just got in a canoe and then gone down and then got a lift back up. But we didn't know that at the time. It was
fun.
It's a really cool castle, actually. I was really impressed with it. Yeah. So you can actually, because we paid to go inside, you can actually go across and you pop at the end and you do the video and then you walk back through the palace. It's a really interesting building.
Yeah.
Next up, this is another very famous suspension bridge. This is in Hungary. This is the Budapest. It's called the Suez Chain Bridge in Budapest in Hungary. How would you pronounce that one?
I would say
Shishny Chain Bridge in Budapest. It's the main bridge. It's got the lions there. It goes between the
the famous view that you know with.
I actually have another video of me on the bridge, but then you couldn't see the bridge so much. You could pretty much just see this palace or whatever this thing is in the background.
Yeah.
Next up, we have this is the Bielitz Baumkronenpfad, the canopy path. So technically not a bridge. Well, it kind of is a bridge, but it's a bridge from a tower to another tower, which goes past. This is an old infirmary.
Hospital grounds.
A hospital grounds where people would, if you got pneumonia and you wanted to get over pneumonia. Is it pneumonia, that kind of thing?
Yeah. People had like breathing things and other treatment facilities was like all over
that's what this thing is here. I'm not sure if people can see it, but there's these old buildings all kind of burnt down or whatever and fell apart. So now you can actually go up there and you're like, what, 60 meters in the air? I don't even know how high you're, but very impressive.
Nice, like you're really where the canopy is.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice in the autumn when you have a little bit of a color.
And we were there in like
in
September, I guess, weren't we? End of September. All right, so that's just outside of Berlin. Not really a bridge, kind of a canopy walkway, kind of a bridge.
Yeah.
Next up, this is actually me on a bridge in Luxembourg, and again, this was one that I was trying to find the name for, and in the end, it's actually just known for the street. It's the Rue Münster Bridge. So it's on Rue, which is road, street, and then Münster, which is Münster.
There's a town.
Town in Bridge. So maybe it's the road that went to Münster, I guess.
Yes.
Is Münster near Luxembourg? Well, I guess it's in that direction. Maybe, I don't know.
I guess I don't know exactly what this is. But in Germany, you often have names for roads that are called where the road leads towards. So
maybe that's what it is.
Sense.
So that's in Luxembourg in 2013. I have a few other clips in Luxembourg, but that's the one I shared here. So this is another one where I was looking up the name for it, and it turns out it's just called the Accurary Harbour Bridge. It's just a little pedestrian bridge there. This was back in 2009. Again, I had this really rubbish camera when I first started off this project, and you can really tell.
So grainy.
You can really tell the difference when you're using this old, not HD camera.
Was somebody filming this?
No, I actually set my camera up, ran all the way around, filmed it, like did the juggling, and then ran all the way back. It's like a 4-minute video or whatever for me to set that up because it's like around the side of this harbour. But no, I just set that line up, and just dramatic clouds, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna get this. So
nice
that's cool. Next up this is called the Franjo Tudjman Bridge in Dubrovnik.
Okay.
So
is that the port then?
Yeah, this is the port. You've been here before, haven't you? So
yes.
this is the cruise ship that I was on, and I think this was actually, you came with me on that cruise, but you were actually joining like the next day. You actually flew out to Corfu, didn't you? And
I was not on. I joined you the day after.
Yeah, and I just said here this this was recorded in 2001, but that can't be true. No, it was in 2011. Yes, let's switch that back again. So this is another cool. This is one of those cable stayed bridges, as you can see here. This is kind of classic cable stay bridge now with a like extra
one
column on this end, and so all of the forces come up this cable at the back and then down these straight ones to hold up that main span. Pretty good bridge. Now this is called the Smeaton Bridge in Perth in Scotland, and this was when we were over there, or at least I was over there. No, you do actually. You filmed this. You filmed this one. This was in 2016 for the British Juggling Convention, and the British Juggling Convention was meant to be going back to Perth just now, wasn't it?
Yeah, last year, wasn't it?
No, last year was meant to be there, and also this year, but they've just cancelled it. They said, look, we don't think we can organise.
It's difficult to organise anything currently, isn't it?
And look, I'm wearing my EJC fleece top, which is cool.
Yes.
So this is also called the Old Brig the old brig in Scots, old brig just meaning the old bridge.
Yes.
And this is one of the things that, you know, when the river floods, the bridge survives, but then the trees get stuck behind it and floods everything it becomes a flood thing. Yes. Next up, so here's a few interesting little bridges. This is the little bridge in Wadi Rum in Jordan.
That's not true. This is in Mars.
Oh, okay. And this is called the Frauth Rock Bridge.
It's a turtle face.
What are you talking about, a turtle face?
Look, it has holes here. It's the nose.
Look, if you're pointing, you've got to point
I'm pointing for you.
Okay, so this is a nose.
This is a nose, and here on the left is the eye. This is a turtle face.
Oh, it's a turtle face, but with a thing coming out of its face. All right, so Juliana says this is Mars. This is actually where they filmed The Martian, and also on top of one of these, not actually on top of one of these, but in here also Lawrence of Arabia was filmed here, and then loads of Star Wars things. You know, as soon as these days they need there's actually other rock bridges in Wadi Rum. These are actually from 2 different trips there. Wadi Rum is such an impressive place that I went there once in 2015, and then the next, or 2 years later, I was back in Aqaba in Jordan, and they're like, who wants to go on an excursion to Wadi Rum? And I'm like, me. And nobody who I was with, I was like, no, it's like one of the most amazing places in the world. Dramatic scenery, they filmed Martian, really Star Wars stuff, loads of, like even now there's loads of other stuff that I spot, and I'm just like, oh, that's Wadi Rum in Jordan. Once you've been there, you recognize the sights, you recognize the angles. It's really...
Yeah, wasn't one of the latest Star Wars movie as well, where they have like a town on top of the rock, and then they land the spaceship there and stuff.
That's like these rocks here. Like when you see it was used in the first of the new Star Wars ones. What was it? The Force Awakens, and it was used in Rogue One, and it was used in The Last Jedi. Like all 3 of those use this.
Not our world.
It looks suitably alien. Yeah, there's some other bridges, but they're a bit further away. Some of them you can't drive to. You got to trek to. One day I'll take you there, and we'll spend like 3 days just exploring Wadi Rum because it's absolutely fantastic. Well, it's one of my favorite places to go to. When people say, "What's the most impressive place that you've been to which isn't well known?" This is it. Wadi Rum is one of the most impressive places. Made less impressive now that it's featured in like every other movie, but it is still good. All right, so this is in Lisbon, and this is the Ponte. The Ponte 25th de Abril. Again, I don't know what 25 is in Portuguese, so I'm actually mixing it up there between there. And this is a memorial to the navigators. These are all the Portuguese navigators, explorers in the age of exploration.
Oh,
and
yes.
This is like the front of it, front of the bridge, and it's a very impressive monument there.
Yeah.
Sculpture kind of thing. But here's the bridge in the background. When it was built, one of the longest suspension bridges. Very impressive.
Suspiciously similar to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Well, here's the thing. It actually looks suspiciously similar to 2 bridges. Oh, and over here as well, there's a big Jesus statue here. So this actually looks like you're in Brazil because there's a big Jesus statue. A Christ the Redeemer statue. I think it's even called Christ the Redeemer statue. But no, the bridge is actually the same colour as the Golden Gate Bridge, which I showed you before.
Yeah.
But it's more of the same design of the Bay Bridge. Now, the Bay Bridge was actually made, again, by the same company or the same designers, and the Bay Bridge is also a double-level bridge, so you got an upper level and a lower level. Right. And then the cross braces, instead of being solid cross braces here between the towers, solid cross braces, they're actually cross braces between
cross braces.
So it's got the cross braces and the double level of the Bay Bridge in San Francisco, but the color of the Golden Gate Bridge. So yes, it's kind of a mix between. All right, only got a few more bridges left to go. Next we have the Interstate Bridge, the Columbia River Interstate Bridge, which connects Oregon and Washington, the states of Oregon and Washington, at Portland. And I wanted to get a juggling video of me in not just Oregon, but like, there's another US state just like a bike ride away. So I borrowed someone's bike and just to tick off another state. And this was the juggling video I got there, and this was like just the more impressive thing. So this is actually 2 bridges. It's a double layer bridge. You see these two there's a bridge, and then a second, there's a bridge, and then a second bridge, and then there's a tower. This is like a lifty kind of thing. There's a channel under here, and it lifts up. And then there's another one. So originally, the first bridge was built in like 1910. And then in the 1950s, they're like, we need a new bridge. And they're like, well, why don't we just build exactly the same bridge again right next to it? And now they're like, we really need a new bridge. This is loads of bad traffic, and it's all falling down.
Yeah, it looks very square, and you know, in
it's just a big truss bridge.
In relation to all the nice floaty.
So I posted this, and somebody said on Instagram, they're like, "Oh, I come from Portland. We have loads of nice bridges. Why are you using this like the worst bridge in the whole of Portland?" I was like, "Well,
That's the bridge you got."
It's happened. I just happened to go. People in Portland, they seem to be proud of their bridges, but the Portland across the river is so ugly. I'm just going to tell you that now. Like on one side of the bridge is all just freeways, autobahns, motorways. It's just like stacks of levels of them. And then on the other side of the bridge is Portland City. So when you're on one side, you're like, "Oh, there's Portland City. That could look really nice." But you're literally underneath a motorway when you're biking on that side. And then you go over to the other side and you're like, "Oh, this is like where I'm in the city. There's no motorway here. I'm going to have a nice view across the river." No, you're just looking at freeways. Portland has fucked themselves. Oh, I shouldn't say this. Portland has messed themselves up. They've spoiled their own view in both ways. Portland, massive thumbs down to how you've been treating your riverside. Literally any other city in the world has done riverside city infrastructure. Although, again,
well, they set it up in the probably 60s or 70s or 50s.
Yeah, they put these freeways through. They're just sort of like,
cars. Future.
Who needs riverbanks? Like riverbanks will never be important. And you look at like every city in Europe, and you're like, no, the riverbanks are like where everything happens. Now
like, oh, we have a river. Let's come up with a maid to make it a riverbank where people can hang out.
All right, so here's another one. This is the Ponte. Let's have a look at the Ponte Vecchio, and this is in Fiumicino. I was doing a gig, and they put me up in a hotel before joining the cruise ship, and they're like, Fiumicino, but Fiumicino is just like this little fishing village. There's nothing there at all, and I guess they accidentally didn't put us up in the airport hotel. They just put us up in the airport hotel, and it was like nothing there in the town. I had to go out and find some food. It was really annoying.
Pretty looking bridge.
Yeah, well, it's a bridge that raises up, as you can see. It's a truss bridge. These two columns. It's not any. These columns are just to hold the bridge as it goes up. Because this is not like massive amount of traffic. It's just to get across the harbour. And I guess this little bridge, they only need to to get this bridge through. They just need to lift it up to about there to get through. Whatever. All right. One more bridge. This is one I posted just now, and this is the Suez Canal Bridge, or the Mubarak Peace Bridge. There's lots of different names, but generally the Suez Canal Bridge here. And I'm on the front of it, on the front deck of a ship, and this is actually the bridge there's a few bridges which go between continents, and this is the big bridge which goes between Africa and Asia. There's the bridge in Turkey, in Istanbul, which goes between Asia and Europe. Yes. And there is actually another bridge that I have, actually in this clip, a little bit later in this clip. This is going through the Panama Canal, not the Suez Canal. And you can actually see an impressive bridge kind of in the background of the next shot. I think that this is this clip. Oh, maybe I've got the wrong clip. So, no, it's the wrong clip. It's the... Oh, no, there it is. There it is. So this is... Yes, this is another bridge. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like the Bridge of the Americas. No, the Bridge of the Americas is another one. The Bridge of the Americas, we actually saw it on the TV show the other day, didn't we? The Bridge of the Americas is a big arch bridge, which is with a roadway strung onto the arch. What's some other bridges? I didn't share these ones. Yeah, this is a bridge which is in Castres in St. Lucia, but I couldn't find the name of the bridge, so I didn't share it. And I shared it when I was doing all countries in order, because this is literally the only clip that I have there. Next up, this is this tower is the power. It's a bridge, so I didn't share this one. And now this one I'm going to share this evening on Instagram, because this is actually officially
start of the new series.
No, this is the end of the Bridges series. Okay, so this is called the Benson footbridge at the Multnomah Falls. Again, this is if I was actually sharing something from Portland, this is just outside of Portland. You go up the Columbia River a bit, and I thought this is an impressive one. You can see that I did this in 2011 because there's a
beautiful,
fantastic waterfall and really, really fun bridge. That second bridge there, it's just a pedestrian
you go on
bridge.
That one?
Yeah, of course you can walk up around it. We didn't walk to the very top of the motorway, of the waterfall. But yeah, it's just a little picnic area down below, and there's a cool walkway that you can do. So yeah, very impressive. So this actually introduces the next series that we're going to do, and the next series is waterfalls. But in fact, I'm going to name it something else. Because I didn't just want waterfalls, because I've got a few waterfalls, but not enough to do like a full month series. But so I thought, what are the water features? So sometimes waterfalls down, but sometimes waterfalls up, or get shot up. So this is actually going to be called Cascades versus Fountains, and it's going to be a series where I'm going to be alternating between a waterfall and then a water feature or fountain of some kind, and then a cascade, waterfall, and then a water feature or something like that. So look out for waterfalls versus fountains or cascades versus fountains. That's a funny thing to do with.
That's a very clever wordplay.
Wordplay, and it's international juggler cascades versus fountains.
You never change your juggling. It's always cascading.
Sometimes I do. I think there's one clip where I do sea spells. Again, the reason why I just stick with the same juggling pattern is because these are meant to be shared short. Like, I filmed all of these to be shared in like 4-second bursts in a montage, and anytime that you try and do like start a trick, you've got to start the trick and then end the trick, and in the end 5 balls is enough that I can carry them around in my pocket without having to worry about it, and it's just a dynamic enough pattern for it to be similar, and as long as I'm standing in the middle or just somewhere in the shot, you can make it work well. Do I have anything else? No, that's the end of it. Okay, so how many bridges were there? We can actually just, I guess, look by going here. How many things in this one? Yeah, 42 bridges. There we go. Let's switch back over to webcam only, and here we are again. Hi. So yeah, I think that's going to bring it to a close. We're doing like 49 minutes. Watch out for future international juggling videos. Again, I post one every day on Instagram and on YouTube, so you can look at it there either way. That's the end of this series. What else do we want to say? Thank you very much to our Patreon supporters. We're doing this pretty much for you guys, to give a little thank you. Because I'm not traveling, people can't follow my current travels because I'm not performing. The International Juggler series is just sort of like, hey, catch up
virtually.
Catch up with Luke's stories and how nerdy he can get into bridges. Just been playing a bridge game as well. It's called Poly Bridge. It's a computer game where you build bridges, and so I've been a little bit more focused on bridges. It has some
really nice background music.
Yeah, it does, but I've had to uninstall it from my computer because it turns out that when it gets to a certain level of game, I'm like, either I'm now in this game and I'm going to be spending 1,000 hours in this game, or I've just got to stop because I'm not going to be able to enjoy it until I like learn all these extra techniques. And I've learned kind of the basic bridge building things.
This is also where we now have all the knowledge of trusses and suspension.
Well, I had most of that anyway, but yeah, it has a little bit. Well, you got today we've been looking at, there's lots of cable stay bridges, lots of truss bridges, arch bridges, cable stay bridges, and suspension bridges. I think most of them fall into those categories. There's either a truss, an arch, a suspension bridge, a cable stay bridge, or what was the other one? Can't remember what the last one was. Arch, truss, suspension, cantilever, something. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Lots of different bridges. You can find almost
and mixtures of the two, because Wilhelmsbrucker is a cantilever
and the one with the column with the stuff
thing that goes up and down. Yeah, lots of different kind of bridges. But yeah, like it's not that I didn't learn anything, but like it was an excuse now to actually look it up. So when I said, oh, this bridge is called a backward curved pylon backstayed cantilever bridge, yes, I did look that up on Wikipedia, but most of them you can just kind of see what it is.
Yes.
So that's it. What I was saying, yes, thanks to our Patreon supporters. Yes. Oh, and thank you very much to everyone watching in the live stream. I know there's only been 15 people in there or something like that. Thank you very much for watching. Any other questions? I'm actually gonna press stop now for the bridge section of this, and then I'll take some questions if anyone's got any questions at all in the chat. So
thanks for supporting us.
Thanks for supporting us on Patreon. Really cool. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
All right, let's.